in the back.
Okay, so this is to everybody. If you had an opportunity to go back and remake Robotech, would you go back and remake a lot, go back and remake just a little bit, like a little pet piece, or leave it the way it is? Perfect.
Well, I'd ask for a bigger role.
I'd ask for more baffling.
I would take more singing lessons.
I actually don't think, I mean, it's been a while since I've seen the whole series. You do the series, you're intimately involved with it. I was a story editor, so I saw, nearly everything. I think we did the best job we could do with it at the time. If you look back at material 5 years, 10 years later, tastes have changed, times have changed. You might want to change something because you think, well, that's kind of corny from back then. But you know what? It worked back then, and people seem to appreciate it now. So I don't think I'd change anything. I just let it stand for what it is.
Steve, it comes back to something you brought up earlier about people being slavish to the continuity sometimes. And there was actually a pretty well-publicized release that was done a few years ago. This was the first 36 episodes of Macross. And what happened was the scripts were translated to be much more. The scripts were translated to be much more closer to the Japanese storyline rather than the Robotech version. And for some of the, I guess, the purists of the Japanese material, they thought, oh, well, once this comes out, Robotech's reason for existence will cease to exist. That will be the end of Robotech when this comes out. And then as soon as this came out, people listened to the voice acting. I mean, there were some good people working on it. They did okay work, but they listened to that and they compared it to the work that you guys did. And they said, you know what, the original Robotech wasn't bad.
Yeah.
So,
I think if it had come out that way in 1984, I don't think it would have gotten as big of an audience at that time. And I think that at least it brought attention to anime, and then whatever they did with it afterwards, it was caused because you guys saw it that way, and it was entertaining. We had great writers. I mean, one of, like Bob Barron used to write for Bonanza. I mean, we had some really good.
We have time for 2 more questions. And both questions get really good prizes out of the mystery box to make them look good. All right, let's see here. Let's go to the woman in black.
I have a question for the voice actors. Playing the characters so long as you have working with the show, how have the characters influenced yourselves? Like playing the characters, how have they played a role in your daily lives? Like, do you see yourself going back to the personalities and asking yourself what this character would do in certain situations?
Well, he played a character named Lunk. I ain't saying anything.
What are you saying, Kramer?
Nothing.
I've learned from the show never to leave a steak before you eat it.
And never mess around with your cousin.
Multiple characters, and I've learned to be schizophrenic.
What do you mean, learned?
Great question. We're going to give you a Comic-Con limited edition Valkyrie. You cannot buy these anywhere. All right, final question. Okay. Oh, God. I'm going to get killed because all the people... Okay.
Have them all wrestle for it.
Yeah. Eeny, meeny, miny, moe. Mike? Mike, you have a question?
Yeah.
You're winning.
Hi, first of all, I want to bow to you all because Robotech set such a high standard and it inspired me to do what I do with my life and career now. The question was, because Carl was so creative, but also as a marketer, I know that for Akira, he distributed through comic book stores instead of video stores, which really reached his target audience. I'm wondering, with all the problems that we know anime is facing today, does anyone know what magic solutions Carl might have for the state of the industry today?
That's a hard question. I don't have an answer for that. You know, the whole business has changed. It's gotten cheaper. They're doing it in Texas, really cheap.
And it's flooded with bad anime.
I'd like to say something. Carl's vision was to take it to the next stage, which was to work with the different people all over the world, to involve the Japanese, to have people here in the United States, you know, Europe, you know, go to the studios and go to the artists that are good for a project and put something together that would have been a multicultural, sort of universal project. And that's what he had wanted to ultimately take this to. And instead of taking product from a country and then dubbing it into English or any language, he wanted to make something original. And I think that was what he wanted to do and what his approach would have been, to try to start creating things using the talents from all over the world.
Last question and we'll wrap it up. In the blue blazer. Guys, no stories, gotta be a question.
Any of the mechas. I would pilot the Aston Martin.
I think all the mecha was interesting. I don't think I could pick one. You know, those little individual flying machines were pretty cool. Huh?
The FDS one.
The FDS. I had that thing parked in my backyard.
I don't even know what a mecha is.
Okay, since you asked a question about NECA, this is the final prize. We're going to give you the second volume of the NPC Cyclone. So there you go.
Hey, I got one last request, and this is for the audience. How many of you would like a chance to be in the documentary that we're putting together? All right, don't move anywhere. Stay right where you are. I am going to point this camera at you, and I'm going to ask you all to yell at the top of your lungs, "Happy 25th anniversary Robotech." Can you do that? Yeah. And anybody who doesn't want to be in this, do not consent to be here. Here, let me record this. Anyone who does not want to be in this, does not consent to be in this, would you like to stand up and maybe get out of the way? All right, so am I getting everybody's consent? So I'm getting everybody's consent. You want to be in this documentary? No. All right, there's no money involved, but yeah, I'm just going to get a crowd shot of all of you. So, all right, on the count of 3, I want everybody to yell, "Happy 25th anniversary Robotech." All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. Do you think that was a pretty good take? Was it okay? Okay, all right.
I'll turn my camera on this time. I'm kidding. Well, folks, thank you all so much for coming. We appreciate it. We thank you for 25 years of Robotech and for the next 25 years of Robotech. Thank you all for coming. And enjoy the rest of the day at Expo. Thank you.